What if there was a place with all the zip of Nuka-Cola?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Fallout 4's DLC Nuka World. My name's Camel, and this video is going to be a walkthrough guide in which I will show you how to acquire the unique handmade rifle known as Splattercannon. And as this is in the Nuka World DLC, you will of course need that DLC installed to acquire this weapon. So first of all, we will need to head to Nuka Town, USA, specifically to the Nuka Town market. On the Pip-Boy map, it is located right here. And once inside the market, we need to hunt down the merchant Aaron Corbett. Once we do find him, all we need to do is speak to him and then of course click on barter. Once here, go across to the weapons tab and down to S until we do find Splattercannon. As per usual, the price of the weapon will vary depending on your character's current charisma level. However, even with the highest of charismas, this weapon is super expensive. I do believe I'm currently rocking a charisma of 11 and the price of the weapon is still 9,144 caps. Well, I guess the kids ain't going to college. And while we're still bartering with Aaron, I would suggest that we go across to the ammunitions tab and buy some 7.62 ammunition to put in our new Splattercannon. As you may imagine, a new type of gun comes with a new type of ammunition. Now before we look at the weapon and mod it out, as always, I have reduced my character's special attribute stats to 1. I also have no bubblehead or magazine effects applied, however, this time I do have perk effects applied, and there is a reason for it. To create just about all of the modifications for the Splattercannon at the weapons workbench, you do need 5 out of 5 in the Rifleman perk and 5 out of 5 in the Commando perk. So during this video I do have those perks fully maxed out, but figuring out the base damage is super simple, so at the end of the day it's no problem and won't affect our stats, once we apply some simple mathematics. So first of all, I'm going to be going with the powerful automatic receiver. This improves the damage and the rate of fire. It also inflicts an inferior range, but to be honest, a range of 179 is not exactly inferior. Next, for the barrel, I'm going with the long covered sniper barrel. This grants superior range, better recoil, improved sighted accuracy, unfortunately poor hipfire accuracy. But hey, I already had bad hips, this is nothing new. For the stock, I'm going to be adding the light stock. This grants us exceptional recoil. Control, of course, it left the most important word off. For the magazine, we're going to be adding the quick eject drum mag. This gives exceptional ammunition capacity, which is code for an ammunition capacity of 75, and it also grants improved reload speed. For the scope, you can do whatever you want, but I'm going with the long night vision scope. This grants night vision, superior magnification, and sighted accuracy. And finally, to be a sneaky son of a bitch, I'm adding the suppressor. This suppresses the sound from firing, gives exceptional per shot recoil, improved recoil control, and unfortunately poor range, but again, 179, not too bad. Oh, and most importantly, right at the end, we're going with the painted modification. All this does is give it its crazy color scheme. You can choose some other ones, but I thought this color scheme best fitted the name Splattercannon. So once modded out this way, Splattercannon has a ballistic damage of 94. Now 94 is the base damage being doubled by the Commando perk. So half of 94 is 47, which means that 47 is the base damage unaffected by perks, which would be the damage we normally see, but I had to get the perks to get the mods for the weapon to make it good. So it has a base ballistic damage of 47, it uses the 7.62 rounds as ammunition. It has a fire rate of 113, its range is 179, its accuracy is 113, its weight is 27.6 pounds, and its value is 6,930 caps. That is a damn expensive weapon. And as we can see up the top in the middle of the screen, Splattercannon, plus 15% damage after each consecutive hit on the same target. Now this legendary effect is one of the many reasons I added the automatic receiver. A higher fire rate grants us much more use of this legendary prefix. Speaking of the legendary prefix, it is the Furious legendary effect. As we know, plus 15% damage after each consecutive hit on the same target. Now all in all, it's incredibly dependent on what type of weapon this effect is on, whether it's good or not. Basically, the faster you can hit things, the better. So having this automatic assault rifle type weapon that does a pretty meaty base damage of 47 per shot, and also has a high fire rate with a large magazine size of 75 rounds, yeah, this is one of those weapons that is just about as good good as it gets in terms of having the Furious legendary prefix on it. Now this effect will stop stacking between an undetermined number of about 7 or 10 stacks. More like 7 to 10 stacks. Which is the only real downside, but at that point you're going to be doing double the damage, and to be honest, especially on this weapon, no enemy lived long enough for the stacking to max out. Now although it had a base damage of 47, once I got all of the perks that increased damage, I got its damage up to 135 ballistic damage per shot. Now in a VATS sequence for example, it will fire 3 bullets in one VATS attack execution. So that first bullet is going to do 135 damage, the second bullet is going to do 135 damage plus 15%, and the third bullet's going to do 135 damage plus 30%, which will leave you somewhere around 500-ish damage. That is quite a handsome number to be sitting at. Even more so when you think about that wasn't a one-off attack. You've got 72 more bullets ready to go. And each bullet coming after it is going to do even more damage than the last. It's very similar to Divorces. However, in the case of the Splattercannon, we are always the winning side. Now, if you modded it out the way I did, we did put the suppressor on it, so it can be used very viably for a sneaking build. It has a pretty damn decent range, it also has this big scope on it. Now, at the rather long ranges, the spread is there, but just like on bread, it's not bad at all. It's very manageable. But yes, back to the suppressor and the scope, it can be used as like an automatic sniper rifle. Pretty intense, and there is almost no recoil. At no point did I even notice that I was having to compensate for the recoil. Now, if you really think about this weapon applied to a sneaking build, just imagine the combination of this legendary effect combined with the sneak attack damage bonus. 15% increase, 30% increase, 45% increase, 60% increase, and so on, applied to an original 135 damage, and then whatever you get is going to be times by 3.5. Provided, of course, you have the maxed out ninja perk. So yeah, some really silly things can actually happen with the Splattercannon. For example, its name, who thought of that? So susceptible to sexual innuendo. For example, Splattercannon is the nickname for one of my body parts. Ugh, you guys got some dirty minds. I'm not talking about that, I'm talking about my ass. Provided that I've had Mexican food within 24 hours. Splattercannon. I'd like to splat on her can. And on that note, I'm going to drip cyanide into my eyes. Here it is, the Splattercannon in action. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I've been Camel, and this has been my guide for the unique handmade rifle in Fallout 4's DLC Nuka World, known as Splattercannon. I do hope that this video helped you out in some way, and also understanding in how it can be used and fully utilized with its special Furious legendary effect. If this video did help you out, I think you will be very interested in clicking on the playlist button on screen. This of course will take you directly to my Fallout 4 Guides playlist, where you can select the videos you wish to watch freely. Or you can check in the description, where it will be frequently updated with links to new Fallout 4 guides that I upload. If you too thought that Splattercannon was a nickname for my trouser taipan, then please feel free to follow me on Twitter. The link can also be found in the description, or you can search Camelworks on Twitter. And with all that said, I would like to thank you very much for watching. It has been an absolute pleasure, and I will see you very shortly in the next video. I'll see you there in a second.